I didn't just quit drinking. I quit wasting time. I quit playing it small. Quitting alcohol didn't just remove the guilt, anxiety, and shame for me to be able to survive. It enabled me to thrive. Because of that, I was finally able to build a life for the last 3 years I could only have dreamt of. I'm going to share the experience of the last 5 years rebuilding my life because I believe it has the potential to make you quit today. When it comes to quitting drinking, we don't fully understand how good we can feel 6 months from now. It's completely understandable when we can just about complete a dry January or sober October. By the way, guys, I have a free full training video for 2025 on how to quit alcohol. I'm not sure how long it's going to be free for, but the link is in the description, so check it out. I was fortunate to have an insight of what it was like to be alcohol and drug free. 2 times when I went to prison for alcohol-related violence at the age of 19 and 23 for 3 months each time. Ironically, it has always been the times when I've gone out and not taken drugs and just drank alcohol that I've got in trouble and got arrested. Being released from jail after 13 weeks gave me a real insight on how good I could get my body and mind, and then how quickly I could destroy it in one weekend. A heavy weekend on alcohol and cocaine, and my body looked unrecognizable from how it looked leaving prison. A timely reminder that we can go 3 months without a drink and then burn everything down in just one weekend. That proves my point. You don't have to drink every single day just to have a problem with drinking. Binge drinking is just as destructive. This is where things start to get better. In 2020, just after moving to Australia, a switch flipped in my head as I turned 30. I quit alcohol for good, and I'm still sober to this day. 2020 was a rough year for me. It was COVID, I'd just broken up with my girlfriend, and to top things off, I was living in some hilly-billy town in rural Australia, working for a bunch of bogans. I couldn't have felt worse. But it did have its perks. It sent me to YouTube, and I would find myself sitting on my bed every single day after work, searching videos on how to get over heartbreak. I know it seems sad now, but at the time, I didn't know what to do. This is where it gets good. The algorithm redirected me to Lewis Howes' podcast, The School of Greatness. Guests like Grant Cardone, Jay Shetty, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and David Goggins would share on how to improve your finances, body, and mind. Looking back, this period was absolutely pivotal on becoming who I am today. Let me know in the comments of a bad time that you went through. When you look back now, you actually see it as a blessing. I'm keen to know. Back to the story. I basically found myself running around rural Australia, listening to David Goggins' first book, Can't Hurt Me. And you all know how inspirational that shit was. At that point, that was it. I was never going back to drinking drugs. This is when my life started to take shape without me even realizing it. I was demanding the best myself, and I was unconsciously looking for ways to escape the 9 to 5. When we're constantly poisoning ourselves with harmful substances, do you think that we're able to think clearly? Do you think that people are going to take us seriously when we're operating at a low vibrational self-worth? Do you think we're going to be able to get the best deal for ourselves when we have a low self-worth? This is where the major shift in my life happened, roughly about 1 year after getting sober. I remember turning up for work in 2022. I was working for an Irish firm as an electrician in Sydney, Australia. The foreman had his favourites, and I remember getting constantly overlooked to work for double time on Saturday. I remember thinking to myself, how did I get to this point in my life where I don't even get to choose how much money I earn? What kind of man did that make me? I felt powerless. I took action that week, and I went out and I bought my first laptop. It was the cheapest one I could afford. It was a MacBook Air. This is a quote I live by the way. Massive action beats perfect planning when perfect planning doesn't move fast. If you don't like something about your life, don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Just take action. It relieves all anxiety, trust me. When I bought the laptop, I had aspirations of being a trader, but I could barely type with one finger, let alone read graphs of stocks and shares. I had ambitions of being a trader, but I could barely type, let alone read graphs of stocks and shares. I remember typing with one finger, and my then girlfriend, who I managed to get back with, by the way, was just sat there laughing at me as I was trying to figure out how to use this Mac. But who's laughing now? Alex Hormozi has a great quote. It is that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. A few days later, I met this guy in the gym and he told me all about e-commerce drop shipping. I won't go into too much detail, but I made more in 3 months drop shipping than I did in a whole year working in the UK as an electrician. This is why I say to you guys, if you want to quit alcohol, you have to build a life which is challenging and exciting. If you live in a life where you struggle to get out of bed in the morning because you know what the day's going to hold, what makes you think that you're going to be able to stop drinking? The main ingredient that's helped me stay sober is building my body, building my mindset, and building businesses. I'm always constantly challenging myself. That is the thing that keeps you on a straight and narrow. I wake up every morning working on becoming the best version of myself. I get to sculpt my character in real time. I have no ceilings on who I can become. I don't even know what country I'll be in next week. For some people, that might seem daunting, but for me, that seems exciting. I actually met a girl in the swimming pool in the wrong gym in Bali, and she asked me where my home was, and I said, I don't have one. She said, that sounds sad. I said, that sounds exciting. The old Ben was trapped in a 9-to-5 with a capped income, living in a caged life in a relationship that he didn't want to be in, but he was too scared to leave because he was worried that he wouldn't find anyone else and that he wouldn't be able to pay for a full apartment by himself. It sounds ridiculous now, but back then it was my reality. I was living a caged life. Fast forward to 2024 December. I finally quit my job as an electrician after spending a whole year working towards paying $15,000 for a visa that was going to keep me trapped in a job I didn't want to be in. I went all in on creating my business Hybrid Sobriety, which is a program that I put myself through without knowing at the time to quit alcohol. Without this, who knows where I'd be? Probably stuck on a building site, working for a boss that I didn't believe in and didn't respect. This year, I've lived in Bali, Vietnam, and Thailand. I wake up every morning getting to do what I love to do, making videos and getting to coach you guys on something that's not only given my life back, but given me a life that I never thought was possible. If you've enjoyed this video, I've made a full video on why Joe Rogan quit alcohol. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the